We watched the Fresh Prince reunion on HBO Max. Did you watch growing up?
No, I didn't watch it every time. I used to like work nights, so I missed like all the primetime shows.
Used to work?
Yeah, I used to work nights.
I was a kid. I was like...
I think, when was it? When did it air?
In 1990. Like I was probably 8 years old.
It was not in 1990.
Yes, it came out in 1990.
I was just doing other things with my time.
Oh my God. 30 years?
I mean, it was always funny and entertaining. I mean, Will Smith is a very charismatic person, so
yeah.
I just enjoy watching anything he does.
I was obsessed with Will Smith. I mean, who didn't have a crush on him? Like, did you?
No, I didn't have a crush on him.
And I had a crush on a lot of people, by the way. Like,
if I mentioned any guy from your first 25 years of life, you'd say you had a crush on him too.
And I probably would still say that, even after my 25 years of life. Is this 90s enough? But it's not hip hop enough.
It doesn't have to be hip hop.
You know I was in a hip hop thing.
You were in a hip hop thing?
Like I used to be in a hip hop group.
Was this a dance group or was this,
yes,
were you the rapper?
No, it was a dance group. We used to do hip hop moves. You know, I didn't belong with the white people, so the closest thing I could come to was like all the brown people, and I used to dress up in baggy clothes. They used to call me Little Aaliyah. The reason why I bring that up, to play homage to it, we need to be like in hip hop gear. As their show put it, it's pretty fashionable. Like they did whatever they wanted. So I guess we're doing whatever we want and still works. I mean, we just watched the reunion and my family used to watch it obsessively. Every time it was out or on reruns, whatever it was. It brought back all the memories. I remembered every single scene. I remember how I felt about those scenes and I have so many emotions about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have like emotions about it. I usually watched it alone, you know, by myself. Like after school, I would watch the reruns. I enjoyed watching the reunion because it kind of gave you a behind the scenes look at what they were doing, how they prepared for the shows and stuff. I find that stuff really fascinating. Same
here. Like I was always curious about how did the kids feel working there? What were their...
Yeah, when they're so young too,
yeah, like
right?
they're so young. And then, you know, I mean, we were young, but just looking back, it's like you're on such an iconic culture impacting show. What were you going through? And what really shocked me was like, these are major spoilers. I think that's what people say in like reviews and stuff. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. When the first mom was gone, I remember being devastated. Why is she gone? Why did they replace her? And that's been a question for years. And just seeing the background of it, like on a personal human level, what people went through, that to me was so moving. You don't know what people are going through. And this is a workplace that became family. We're close to so many people in our lives where, yeah, you might share what you want, but really what's happening behind the curtains that you're struggling with and that's impacting your career or people around you.
I thought the relationship with the dad, how all the actors, like the whole family, always like looked up to him as the guy who was the professional in his field, and how he kind of mentored all of them when they were so young and he was kind of the more experienced person. I thought that was interesting.
You're viewing them as their character and not as the actor.
But you know, we watch those shows seeing, oh, that's Uncle Phil, as, oh, that's Will's uncle. But in reality, they're both actors in a level playing field, right? They're both actors in this sitcom. One's more experienced than the other, but they're on that same level. And all those kids have to bring themselves to the level of meeting the expectations of being an actor, you know, when you're acting next to even people who are much more experienced than you.
On that, also, like the other thing, going back to Janet and Will, is just like the impact of a 21-year-old and how like your actions or inactions can impact a grown woman's life for the rest of her career. And little do you know those effects. So that was just like, it was so sad, but it's nice to see some sort of resolvement even later than never. Now, on a funny part, Carlton, the funny scenes, it's just hilarious to look at those scenes again and to laugh at the dynamic between Will and Carlton.
I mean, I think as much of an iconic character that the Fresh Prince is, I think Carlton is just as iconic. I like to see the behind the scenes because what you always see on camera is not the reality of how much work that goes into it. And to see how Will Smith really tirelessly worked to improve his skills in acting, because he was a brand new actor. I thought that was fascinating to watch that.
First of all, he's an amateur coming in, but I mean, that work ethic,
putting
right?
Putting all that work into it.
The fear of messing up and wanting to be your best and doing it so much so that you're memorizing everyone's lines and things and annoyingly mouthing it. I mean, in those episodes, we always knew he's a hard worker, at least I feel like from everything we've seen. But that's on a whole different level, wanting something so bad.
But I think the hard work is what gets covered by, oh wow, well, he's now you watch his movies and you're like, oh, well, he's a great looking guy. Wow, he's a great actor. Oh, he's a rapper. He's got so many talents, and we label people with all that stuff without seeing all the hard work that goes into all those individual things. And, and you could kind of see that, I think, from some of the behind the scenes in the reunion.
Yeah, I mean, last night you asked me, where do we learn that person is talented or gifted, and that's what makes someone successful and not the hard work?
Right, because sometimes I try to remember when I was young, did I keep hearing from my parents or whoever, or even from teachers or something, wow, look at that very successful person, they're such a hard worker and that's how they got there. With these people who are celebrities, musicians, actors and stuff, you just look at them as like, wow, what a talent. But it's not that. It's like these people put so much hard work behind it.
I remember us kids always having the struggle. Other people telling us that this person's more skilled, or that person's talented, or that person's so successful, look at them, and that they were gifted. It starts at such a young age where people kind of tell you that unless you're talented or gifted or you have a very specific, amazing skill set, you're not really gonna be successful. But that's not true. We've got to stop that narrative because it's really not doing anything. Instead, just like this whole thing, like if you're supporting each other and you're kind of teaching each other through it, like Uncle Phil did. He had his experience, but it sounded like in a nurturing way. He is sharing his knowledge and ideas and is like, this is the work ethic. These are the things you should look up, or these are my experiences and things I know of. Why don't you check this out? And if you go about it that way, then maybe you can have these young people finding their own way. Overall, it just felt really wholesome. Just made me go through my teenage phase of, man, I had a crush, the dancing, the fashion.
Yeah,
like,
that was pretty cool to see that.
That was freaking awesome. Making a statement and being bold with fashion and materials and colors. And I was doing that. I still try to do that. And that was really exciting and fun, like growing up.
I'd love to see other sitcoms do a reunion like this. Like
Family Matters?
Yeah, or Growing Pains.
Growing Pains?
That?
Oh my God, that'd be so awesome. Hopefully they could get Leonardo DiCaprio. It's really interesting to see how a show can really impact culture in your life. How your different memories are attached to different episodes or stages in life.
Yeah, it's almost like music. Like you hear a song like that you heard a long time ago, and then it starts bringing back those memories.
Oh, before we go, the hype sessions that Will had in his room, getting the whole cast together, and
even with the audience, him going out to the audience and getting them hyped.
Yeah, like they talked about. Like Carlton did this whole scene that was hilarious, and I remember watching that and I was laughing so hard to the point where I was crying. I laughed and cried in this whole reunion thing. He was talking about breaking that fourth wall and getting the audience involved. That I loved that. It's just like that boldness to involve the people. If you watched it, what was your favorite part? And also, was there a favorite episode of yours that was really memorable when you were watching it? I'd really like to know. Comment below. Let's keep sharing stories, spread the love, and let's keep connecting.